Shaq Maverick here. Making a video today, and I want to talk about the 5 things that I wish I knew when I was younger. I just figured I wanted to make it because it was like when I was younger, I was thinking like, man, it's been like so long since when I'm thinking about me being younger, like, I wish I knew some tips, like say for school and stuff. I just tell my siblings sometimes, like my sister and everything. Like all the stuff I experienced was so like, bad experiences. That's like, if I knew what to do at that time, it wouldn't have been bad experiences. That you go through like with bullying, and depression you have to deal with constantly all the time, and peer pressure of you want to join this group, you got to join this group. And then it's like you got to worry about what you wear, you got to know what you eat, you got to know who you hang with. You gotta make sure that you pop in. You gotta have people know who you are, and then when you're with a certain group of people, they gotta know who you are, or they're gonna think you're weird, And I was always that weird guy in school, like weird guy. Like I'm talking about like quiet, like you wouldn't even know I exist. Like the time when I graduated, like middle school, they were like, "Who's that?" And then everybody else, and someone else comes along, like, "Yeah, cheers," and. I didn't even know my parents came during my graduation. It was just me, and I was lucky enough a few people to maybe give a couple claps to where that I get some acknowledgement. But other than that, it was like, shoots, people didn't even know who I was compared to before. But how do people know me now? And I just happened to get out there. So let's just get into it and start off with tip number 1 would be, just do you. Be there, go where you are, get out there and be active. If you have something you're interested in doing, pursue it, get on it. No matter what anyone else tell you, like, just tell that to yourself. Just, hey, you know what? I want to take up this thing. Like, I want to take up drama class, maybe practice being an actor and stuff. That's a thing of a career to pursue, or as a skill, just as a hobby. I could be like the next, I don't know, Tom Holland, who knows? I could be like a superhero. I could be like, superheroes not on screen yet. I don't know, something with Doom Patrol maybe. Some underrated, not yet seen on TV, like superheroes that people could portray. What else is there? God, like, anything superhero based, basically like Avengers and stuff, or fantasy movies, or even sci-fi, They could be really good at that. Or even like, I don't know, they take up, what's that? What was it? Like, what do they call it, right? Oh my God, I don't even know what classes they take. You can do something on the side. Damn, it's like a little business, e-commerce. That's like a thing now for new generations. You can just start selling stuff online, or you could even just like, I don't know, do one of those tutorials with the makeup and stuff. Yeah, I see a lot of people do those. Shoots. Those actually be pretty good. That's the kind of thing, just said you happen to do as a hobby, like, just do that and don't be ashamed of it. Even people be like saying, why do you do those things? Like, oh my God, you're so fucking weird. Like, nah, I wouldn't say so. It's just something you like to do, so you just do what you do, do what you love. That's doing you. In case you didn't get it the first time, that's doing you. If you like to do it and you pursue it, don't worry about anybody else say, even though they find you weirdo for it. Or they find you like, it doesn't seem like the most promising thing to do, but they wouldn't understand it. It's something that you just connect with. For me, I do art, I draw, I design, all that stuff. You see, so that's just something I always pursued since I was a kid. That's just me as a hobby. That's just me expressing myself for what I do. Not a lot of people express themselves. That's a problem with the way how society is today. Like, no one's expressing themselves properly in what they do, and especially when they're frustrated or when they're trying to pursue their passion. See, so I'd say that's one thing you need to do is, just do you. Okay. Tip number 2 would be, it's going to be okay. You need to tell that to yourself. I don't know what a camera is, so I can't even look directly at it to give you eye contact. I think it's that right there. It looks weird, not me seeing myself. But anyway, tip number 2 is, it's going to be okay. Tell yourself that all the time. Build up that mentality to where no matter how many people tell you, oh, you can't do this, oh man, you suck at it, or oh man, it's so hard, like it's impossible, you can't do it, it's no way you can't do that. No, you're not you're not Kylie Jenner. You'll never get 1,000 followers. What else? Like, you're not athletic. You can never get into sports. You're so fat. This kind of things you just deal with. People are just constantly always telling me that all the time. It's like, oh, you'll stuck it through. Once you just get straight A's. Do well in school, and you'll be just fine. And then you're like, okay, like. That's it, like that's all I get, No, it's like you go through a lot. You go through a lot with your family, at least I don't know, this is just me and my experience. I went a lot with my family, between my mother and father. They split. And then they were kind of fighting over who needs to, he needs to be with father, he needs to be with mother more. Being mother more means he's mama boy, sissy, whatever, or a faggot, whatever, or like be with the dad more. But then you'd have to deal with having to help run their business and what they do. And then it's like, I don't want to pursue what you do, and you just tell your father that, and then it's just so much you're doing. And then when they see you doing your own thing, they're like saying, why do you always do these things? Like, nobody does these things. You need to do something more constructive with your time. And it's like you're telling them, this is something I do, and it's just, I'm not that interested in what you want to do for me, Dad. But then they wouldn't understand that, that's just how parents is. I don't know why they do that. They just don't understand. I don't know if it's just this generation of our parents, or I don't know. Maybe this is a thing. It's weird. Not weird, but it's just something where they don't understand to see that aspect of what we see. You see? So there's really not much persons who would tell you when you're going through all those stuff that leads to depression to say, oh, it's gonna be okay, you'll pull through. You won't really get much of that at all, actually, like very little. So what you have to do is, in order for you to face or fight your demons, you have to fight them from within, and dealing with depression, you have to deal with that yourself at the core. I had to myself. I had a few influence, mainly from superheroes, fictional characters, people said at the time. Before it was even popping, before The Dark Knight Rises was out like that. And, I was in a time where things were not the best, which I'll probably explain to you down the line, maybe, yeah. But it really wasn't going so well, so that wasn't easy for me. So I grew out of the depression, the shy state and everything, and I continuously told myself to be more confident, to believe in myself, to, that it's going to be okay. There's going to be hard times. You're just going to have to deal with it. People are going to have to be throwing kryptonite your way, and people are going to make you do things you don't want to do. It's like, I don't want to fight, but you got to defend yourself. I don't want to have conflict, but you need to win that debate, you see? Because then them thinking they're right only justify their acts, or their, what is it called? I don't know. They're like, their ways of thinking. They're gonna try and pressure it on you. It's gonna justify for them. So unless you learn how to actually defend yourself and stand up for yourself, they're always gonna continuously do that. So that's why you need to believe in yourself and tell yourself every day. Try looking in the mirror. Practice every day if you can to speak to yourself firmly. Eye contact, all that stuff. You can learn that. You can learn that. Check it out online. You can learn it, and you'll get better over time. And the more you practice telling yourself that in the mirror, the more you practice telling yourself that in your mind, and the more you write that down and tell yourself that every day, it's gonna stick to you, and then you're gonna believe it, and then you're gonna keep pushing, and then you're gonna perceive it, and then that's what the world will see you as an image of. You see yourself as this confident person. It's gonna rock their world. And it's gonna change a lot of people's minds, and a lot of people won't like that. Some people would admire that, but that's just the way it is. It's either you need to take care of yourself and believe in yourself and carry yourself. It's a lot to go into that, but I'll just keep that brief. Tip number 3 is become a better you, you know? Becoming a better you. That's where it's like, ah, man, it's like, okay, let's think of like The Flash, basically. Let's look at Flash season 1. You know, if you guys watch The Flash, I hope. You see Barry, like season 1 Barry was so like crybaby like, and then season 2 was like more cocky but arrogant and just kind of like thinking he got stuff down, and bam, bam, Zoom comes in, breaks his back, takes away his speed, and he's like crybaby like again, you know, and it's just like, you know, and it's like, come season 3, now he's more wise and, you know, he's more experienced to where you have way less of that. Like, he'll do that once in a while, and then come to the current season, I think season 4, is it season 5 now? I think it's season 5 now, I can't believe it's 5 seasons. Yeah, like, he's way more experienced, but you have like about 4 or 5 different versions of themselves, you see? And that year 1 of him was like, just getting all these things, just doing these stuff. It's just an example. So it's like year 1 of you going for school, year 1 of you either graduating from school, year 1 of you going to college, year 1 of you working. That's your version of yourself, and you want to pursue being a better version of that current version that you are during that time. You know, where it's like, shoots, like I'm reading books more now currently. Year 2, I'm gonna be trying to be more athletic now, you know. Year 3, I'm gonna learn to listen to people more and stop trying to be like some sort of like macho guy, like just pairing myself, have a high ego, and not learning to level myself down to understand other people. You see, so it's like that. So whatever version you are right now of yourself, you need to like pursue to be a better version, the best version of yourself, you know? For you, basically, just do it for yourself. Do it for other people, but mainly do it for yourself. I'm pretty sure it'd be preferably you do it for yourself. When I was like fat, yeah, I was fat. Big bloated weight, I think around 220 pounds. I was like 15, 16. And then I was really fat, and I liked this girl. You know, she was Jamaican. And then she was like, when I asked her out, she was like, yeah, you're fat. You know, that was just it. And I was like, oh. I was like, I mean, so you can go out? And she was like, no, you're fat, so no. You know, and I was like, damn. And I was like, okay, I played that off cool to take it, but on the inside I was like, it was like, bam, like, just bam, like, damn, like, wow, like, that hit me pretty low. Not as low as, like, someone I obsessed for 8 months, but that's another story. But, yeah, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself to lose the weight, just to show the people I'm not lazy, because I keep hearing that all the time, my whole life, and I was sick of it, you know? And then I started working to, like, prove people wrong. And then as I was doing the program, it was Insanity, you know, at the time of P90X and everything. I don't think people do Insanity like that much anymore. I still do it sometimes. I lost the weight. Should I'm like a 160. I lost a little bit more weight, but now I'm trying to gain it back more in the muscle. But it's around 140 to 160 last I checked. Yeah, I lost that, and I feel much better. As I was losing it, I was like getting more in tune to doing this. I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to lose more weight. And I was like, I'm seeing I'm losing 30, 40 pounds. And I'm like, I want to lose more. I want to lose just a little bit more. Let me see if I can get the belly to go slim. And I was like, holy crap, I can see my penis now. Like, whoa, what the hell? Like, damn. I don't see like an earth, another planet, you know, covering my Johnson. Like, damn. That was crazy, and I really enjoyed the experience. And I forgot to even try and lose the weight to prove people wrong. I continued doing it to finish it. I didn't finish it. I had 2 weeks left. I lost the program. It was on DVD at the time. And, you know, I was like, wow, I lost the weight. It took me 3 months, 4 months. That was during the time, I think, of summer, going to December. And I lost him. People were like, whoa, who the hell are you? Like, do you look familiar? And I'm like, hey, man, what's up? You know, and they're like, wow, that's Shaq. Wow, holy crap, he lost weight. Like, you eat a high, you eat a shaggy type of guy high, or you just be pounding with too much women, you know? Sex is workout. In case you missed that. No, I didn't do much of that. You know, I worked my way, I lost the weight, and I gained the body I needed, you know, at the time. And now I'm gaining the body that I want. Been so busy now, but continue to pursue that. But that's the thing right there when it comes to becoming a better version of you, per se. Or is that challenging yourself? Before I think I lost track a little bit. I think that's it. Anyway, let's just add that in, challenging yourself. Challenge yourself to do something every morning. You know, say like, you know what? Bet yourself you can't do 10 push-ups. If you can do 10 push-ups, then challenge yourself to do 15 push-ups after 3 days. After you're doing 2 reps, you know, 10 set push-ups, something like that. You can do that. You know, that's what I do. Shoots, I'd be like, okay, I bet you can't talk to that girl. I bet you see that fine girl you wouldn't even talk to. I say that to myself every day, and I'd be like, what do you mean? Watch this. And then he'd be like, my mom thinking, I bet you won't even get her number even if you talk to her. I'm like, I put the charm on, I do whatever I can, you know, I be slick with it, smooth, and I get the number, set a date, you know, to go out, and if I'm not busy. And it's just like that. Or if I'm even interested, to actually book her in my appointment to like where it's like, I could check you out maybe Thursday. Not on weekends, but maybe Thursday, you know. Try that kind of thing. Since I lost the weight, now more women like way more my way. That's me just challenging myself. It's like, you know, it's just that level of confidence of me being sure of myself to do things, you know. And I always challenge myself to do it all the time. Not a lot of guys do that kind of thing. They don't succeed at it. I succeeded at it like this. Shoots, I'll probably follow up with a video like that. I know this video is actually long, very long. My first video, so I'm trying to get back at it. I'm trying to, you know, I had another YouTube video, but like I said, I won't digress. Cutting into it, that's challenging yourself. That's challenging yourself. Do something that you bet you won't do it. And if you can't do it, punish yourself. Penalize yourself for not doing it, for not committing to it, so that you can commit to it when you do it the next time. Next time that you'll do it for sure. You know, and if you couldn't do it this time, punish yourself to do something. It's like, I bet you like to do something. What do you like to enjoy? If you like to enjoy eating ice cream cake every night, cut that out just for missing your commitment. You know, and cut it out as well as a bonus just to be committed, to not be lazy. You see? And tip number 5, God, I made this video long. It's like 17 minutes. Who's gonna watch this? I must have got edited. Tip number 5 is always make time. Always make time. Yeah, as in whatever it is that you need to do, find a way to manage your time. If you got school to do, like a school project on a Friday, then you got a pop quiz on a Monday, and then you happen to have only, say, Wednesday, and that's 2 days to finish that, and the study in 4 days in addition. You need to find a way to make that time. And then you still gotta make time for family, like with your siblings. I know it's like, I don't know, every time I go to my friend's house, they don't make time for their siblings. They don't even make time to do their other stuff. They just procrastinate all day. And I'm like, there's so much time you can do in a day, man. Like, what are you doing, you know? Shoots, they will kick their sibling out of the room and stuff like that, and be like they don't want to play with them and on and it's like, it's not really good to neglect like your family, you know, like that, especially the little ones, because it's like they don't know what's going on, and you being the older one, you're the one more knowledgeable, and they watch you as well as they watch mom and dad, but they watch you too as well because you can relate to them, you know, you can show them some things, you know. Me, I take it as a responsibility, but at the same time, like, just me personally, where I feel that I would show my sister some things that whatever goes on in the household, whatever's out there doing in the world, you know, I would give her some info rather than her just going to look for it, or down the line I can just give her that shortcut and she can, you know, get immediately to where she needs to get to even quicker, you know, help them out, you know, that kind of stuff. and help them help you out sometimes too. Maybe, you know, you give them the practice of that, they'll do the same thing to you and anyone else. You see, right people, of course. You know, shoots. Yeah, it's like with me and my sister. It's like, okay, for me, I do projects. I still have to go to work. I still hang out with my friends, you know, at least find time, like an hour a day or something. And I still find time to at least spend time with my sister. I just feel like it's such a big sacrifice. It's like, why am I wasting so much time with people when I could be making more money? And it's like, it's not like a loss. It's like that sort of enjoyment of time spent. It's like, you know what, I want to enjoy this a bit in life, because it's like, you live a short life. That's just for humanity. You live a short life, and you want to enjoy as much as you can with your family, you know, because even after you get so much things and after you work so hard to get what you want and everything, and you retire, it's like, who are you going to enjoy it with? You know, you're going to be like so old, and then you don't know what will happen. You have no idea what will happen. That's the kind of thing I think a lot of people need to really sit down and think about that to themselves. It's not anything depressing or nothing like that, but I think that's something they need to really like check out, you know. Shoots, like I said, like my sister, I feel like, man, remember the first time I was just doing it like that, I was like, I waste a lot of time with this girl. It's like, what the hell am I doing? You know, it's like we might be enemies later. I don't know. We might not even talk to each other later, you know. And then it's like we watch anime a lot and we watch One Piece and stuff, and it's like, you know, it's like me and her. It's like she's like Luffy and I'm like Ace, you know. And it's like, after seeing, like, if you watch One Piece, like how, you know, spoiler alert, Ace dies. I don't even know that's a spoiler. Everyone knows that, you know. And it was like him and Luffy had to depart, and then that was the end of that, you know. And it was like, wow. And I was like, that's a hell of a morale lesson. Like, we should definitely find time to do things together sometime. Not like all the time, but, you know, spend as much time as we can together, you know, to enjoy, you know, stuff like that. And afterlife and stuff like that. It gets a little religious with this tip, but mainly it's just that you want to find the time. You know, you always have the time. There's always time until you stop breathing. You always have the time to do whatever you want. You always have the time to study. You always have the time to make time to spend with your loved ones. You always have the time to even help people. You can always find the time. It's just a procrastination. I don't know why I keep hearing so much people, even with some of these other so-called friends who saying, oh man, I don't have the time. No, it's not they don't have the time. They don't have the interest. If you guys don't share a common interest, or if they happen to see that y'all don't share common interests, they're not going to find the time for you. But you find the time for them. So you really got to ask yourself, are you making time with the right people? Because they're not valuing your time. Why are you valuing theirs? You think that's right? Like, I don't think that's right. You know, I don't think that's right at all. I think that's just about, start with that. That's like 5 tips. 5 tips right there. I think if I wish I knew that I was younger. 5 tips I wish I knew when I was younger. At the same time, or even 5 things that I want my siblings to know as they grow. Until next time, guys, this is Jack Maverick here. If you actually got this far into watching my video, or I call this like a podcast or something, thanks. You know, like, kudos to you. I hope I shared whatever experiences I had with you guys that you can use in your everyday life now. You know? Until then, I'll make another video, and I may make a follow-up between the friends thing and that depressive time in my life later on, and find a way to make these videos shorter. So it's still a lot new to me, so yeah. I'll check you guys later. You can check out my social media too. It's linked inside my YouTube and stuff, Instagram, Twitter, Shaq Maverick, can't miss it, or even Facebook. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. So, ciao or peace. How do I... Jesus Christ, I feel like Eminem with this.